What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Man, what a happy Tuesday it is. What?
Why?
You always look at me every time I start.
Why is it a happy Tuesday? Tell them.
Yo.
Tell them why it's a happy Tuesday.
Yo, so as of February 27th, we put out our first episode. Do you know what that means?
A year ago.
Yes, a year ago. I thought that would be pretty obvious if I'm like, we didn't put our first episode out. I thought it would be pretty obvious. Yes, and
look at that.
Do you know what that means?
That it's been a year.
We've made it 1 year in the podcast game.
Yay! Go on! Yay! Okay. We did it. We deserve an award.
I mean, no, you got me. Like, what type of award do you really
Like
need?
I said, we deserve an award. It's like Patrick in that episode of SpongeBob where all he wanted was an award because SpongeBob got all the awards.
But yeah, so we made a year recording. We're close to 100 episodes.
What is this, 90?
This is 91.
91! Woo! Countdown's on. What should we do for our 100th episode, guys?
Probably the same old
Nah, if you want something special for our 100th episode, you should inquire. You should tell us, and then we can make that happen. 100th episode, that would probably be in like 2-ish months. 2.5.
Yeah, that's right.
So
probably early April, somewhere around there.
No, because we're in early March right now. So like May.
Oh wait, yeah.
Mid-May.
Yeah. We would have been there if we would have continued the two episodes a week thing, but
it's okay.
Man, I kind of just want to go back because when we started this, we've done a lot of things. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Let's go down memory lane.
In this day and age, like not this day and age, but when I'm looking at like everything we have talked about on the podcast, I'm like, damn. I'm like, what haven't we talked about? Even when I'm looking for like relationship advice once, I like to keep it fresh, and like I'm like, damn, what haven't we covered so far? It's a lot.
It is a lot.
A lot of good topics. I like going back and like seeing like which ones are like people are listening to the most and being like, damn, that's dope. Like, I don't know. Like, so one of the ones I liked real like in the recent months, I guess. I think it was back in like October and November. We did like a ghosting episode. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite ones so far. Well, among the others that we've done.
I like the makeup for men one.
That one was good.
Naturally.
Yeah, we've done a lot of good episodes and hope to continue it, for another year and, see how things go.
Stick around, guys.
We appreciate everyone.
Leave us now.
We appreciate everyone rocking with us. Thank you for listening. If you've been with us, for a week, a month,
or now a year,
the whole year, however you've been rocking with us, we appreciate the support 100%. And just continuing to make great content is the goal. And yeah, it's really crazy how fast a year goes by. And like you look back at everything you talked about and you're like, wow, all this happened in this past year. It's really wild. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say thank you everyone for listening. And as always, let's get into the episode. So I don't know if you've seen this lately. It's been like a new Twitter thing where like men are calling women out for how they look. And
I don't think so.
See, I like Twitter way more than Instagram, so
I'm on Twitter, but I don't.
There was one that like I'm sure people have seen.
Wait, is this similar to what we talked about like last week or something?
No. So I'm on Twitter scrolling through, and I go through and I see, I forgot what the caption was of this video, and it's like this guy like having this girl's phone. So imagine me having your phone and then you right next to me, and I'm having my phone and I'm recording it, saying like, essentially calling, I assume it's his girlfriend, calling his girlfriend out, saying like she's catfishing, like, or whatever, like faking, like showing a picture where she's all like done up with makeup and everything, and then showing her like,
man, shut up.
Like super like, it looked like she was, the sad part to say is like either physically or verbally abused, because she was like, it looked like she was crying because like her eyes looked very watery, puffy, you know what I mean. Okay. And I'm like, I was gonna share it with you, but I'm like, I don't know, because I don't really like sharing those type of like bad things and stuff like that and spreading it. And I'm like, why would you do that? But I get it. If you're in a toxic relationship, you're not really in that mindset of thinking. And like, people were slamming, this guy because like, that's horrible. Mm-hmm. Imagine me imagine you feel super great in this picture you have, and I'm sitting here showing the world like, yo, who was this? And then pointing to you, and you're sitting there all sad and sobbing and stuff because I'm verbally abusing you and possibly physically abusing you, and being like, yo, like, what's happening? Like, it was bothersome. And there's like other ones where they're like, oh, here we go. Here's the other one that's been going around. I'm surprised you haven't seen this because I feel like we've seen the same tweets where like this kid is going around. It's in high school. It's a high school setting. So like these girls, they put their pictures up online, and their makeup's all done, nice outfit, all that stuff.
Well, duh.
And then this kid shows the picture that that they put online of themselves, and then shows them in like the class, and like, this is her, and like does it for like 4 or 5 women. And I'm like, why?
See, this is why I said, wasn't it like last week or the week before or whatever? And I was like, I don't want to be in school right now. Like, it's gotten so much worse. Mm-hmm. Our cell phones are used all the time. Everything's recorded. Everything's a picture. It's ridiculous. When I went to school, all I wore was sweats. I didn't give a crap. I did not give a crap. Yep. Like, I just looked terrible. And I was show off. I was with comfort over class. And there was some people who were always like dressing up or whatever, but nope, that wasn't me.
Yeah, and I kept it the same way at school. Like the same way when I go out, I wouldn't say necessarily like sweats, because that wasn't me at the time, but like I would keep it like jeans and a t-shirt, and but the stigma's always on the women because they're it's that mindset of like they have to look a certain way when they're out. I
knew someone in high school who she had said her mom basically made her always wear like at least jeans. Like she was never allowed to wear sweats to school because it's an image thing. I wonder where she is now. Like I wonder like how that translated into like adulthood. But I always found that interesting. Like, she told me that, and I was just like, pfft. I was like, I don't got time for that. And then college, I feel like I was both ways. It really depended on the day. I was kind of in the middle once I got into it.
But here's the thing. I get that, because it's like you're going to learn. You're not going to show off. You're not going, like, right. It's different when you're dressing up to go out with your friends for a night out or something. But, like, school, I should be made to feel comfy. And like to all the
like you're there for long hours, you're not liking it usually because it's like, ew, it's school,
Yeah, I just had to talk about that.
But I don't like that.
I don't really understand it, and it's like
I don't like that. That's like
it's bringing that like real like Instagram like.
Well, that's how you're supposed to look all the time. That these filters and the smoothing and the everything that people do to their pictures is how you're supposed to look in real life when you don't even look like that in real life. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is now it's an expectation. It's become so normalized that now you're supposed to look like skin smoother.
And I'll say,
and brightener and all this different stuff that you do with Facetune.
And I'll say, as a kid, or more so, I'll say as a teenager, like I was looking at girls and being like, I wonder if she's wearing makeup, and and like you kind of like think in your head. Well, at least I thought in my head. I'm like, I wonder if she's wearing makeup, if she's not, because as a guy, you don't really know.
I mean, sometimes you know.
And now I'm able to like know or not.
Depends on the look.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you say depends?
Because there are such natural looks, and if you do it in the right way, I mean, if you don't really know the person and you've never seen like their bare skin, for example, it could just look like their skin. Like they have just really nice skin, but they're wearing like foundation or something.
Yeah.
So it could be a little tricky.
One of the easiest giveaways, just to get slightly off topic, is like when I don't see your pores and I'm just like, it looks a little bit too smooth.
There is smoothing products.
Huh?
There's smoothing products. Like primer that like smooths out your pores and blurs them. They used it on me on the wedding day. Like some of my pores around the middle of my face, it went on one of the first products, and it just blurs your pores so that they're not as obvious.
I've been duped. I gotta pull a camera out.
I told you. And that, you could put that on by itself and nothing else. You would think the person's wearing no makeup because it's clear.
So here's what you gotta do next time then.
What?
Since you're wearing makeup right now, when you have no makeup on, I'm gonna have a picture of you on my phone, and I'm gonna record the picture that I have on my phone, and record you, be like, I've been duped.
Man, stop it. That's mean. Stop it.
Just play.
That's mean.
Just playing. But
no, because that's like, it's similar to like lately I told you how I wanted to get new clothes because I wanted to like feel better about how I dress like at the current weight I'm at and like that kind of thing.
Current weight as if she's bigger, but I get it. You want to feel comfortable.
My body's just different than it was before, okay? And like...
Before what?
Like I told you, I thought... I put on some shirts that I had since like 10 years ago. And I thought... I was maybe the same weight or wearing it the same way as I was 10 years ago, and apparently I'm not. So they didn't fit right.
Yeah, but it's 10 years ago.
Right, but so for me, you have to realize my journey was like 10 years ago, I was still like slightly overweight or whatever. And then it went into 7 years ago was when I was like working out. And then like 6 and 5 years ago is when I was at my like lightest and best shape. And then it slowly started like going the other way again. And so I thought maybe I just evened out back to what I was. But it's kind of like... And I don't know, it could be an age thing too, like your metabolism changes every year, but like, and maybe I'm just like wearing my body differently these days, because, you know, it can kind of shift and stuff. But anyways, so I just wanted to get different clothes so that I feel more confident in them. And I also wanted more variety. I was wearing the same black t-shirts all the freaking time, the same outfits. Like, I just didn't have... Like, I wasn't wearing anything different. Like, I just felt blah. And it was partly because that's what fit and I felt looked the best and felt the best, but also it was just easy. So anyways, I got a few new pieces. And yeah, so I was telling you how like, oh, I want to do that because it'll just, if you get this like clothing that fits right for your current weight, then you feel better at that current weight, you know, like versus being mad at yourself that you're not fitting in something you used to and like expecting to and like squeezing yourself because then it doesn't look right. So I did that, and it kind of like this topic reminds me of like if you were like when you and I got together, that's when I was at my lightest. Mm-hmm. And so it's like it's the same thing where like if you were to like compare me to back then and, you know, have a picture of that. Like, I always remember that picture of you and me at that party we went to. Like, we were 2 months in, and I was in the dress, and I was snatched. Like, and I was looking good. And you, like, compare that to, like, me in my wedding dress or something and be like, oh, look, like, clearly something happened there, you know? And, like, it just reminds me of... it's not necessarily just makeup, but it's also... It sounds all appearance-wise. And like I said, women are put to such a standard these days that it's like, oh, I fluctuated up in weight, so that clearly means that's bad or that I'm ugly or that, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get it.
It's very stressful.
Yeah. I also feel like it's relative because, like, there's some shirts that, like, I rock when I'm, like, you know, when I'm home. And not like wear those in public because they're kind of like your, you know, your home type of clothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, old shirts I would wear. Like I have one from like Target back in those days, and that was like what 2013, 14. Like that was like real long time ago, and like I can still wear it, but like it. If you were to take a picture of me when I was wearing it at the time, it was better fitting or complimented me better type thing. Right. But like I wouldn't say. I feel like. It's hard to explain because I feel like if I was that same size now, I'm not sure if I would like that. I don't know how to explain it because I feel like that was like my kid body,
right?
Teenage body or whatever.
Well,
and now I'm like, hey, even though I wasn't really a teenager,
right? For me, when I was at my best, I think it was around 20-ish, 20-ish, 21 is like when I was at my, well, I won't even say best, lightest.
Yeah.
That's when I was at my skinniest, lightest, tonedest, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but it's interesting because I remember even like a year or so ago, I did this like Instagram post on my business account because I was basically saying how that I'm not at my lightest, but I feel my healthiest, which is a better way to look at it. Because, I mean, yeah, you also don't want to go completely the other way, but, well, first of all, I'm only slightly overweight. Like, it's not like crazy.
But what you going off like a BMI type thing? Why you say you're slightly? What's your gauge?
My gauge is the pounds I'm supposed to be for my height.
So you're going off like a BMI type.
I guess.
Metric. Like that. Because I'm like, when you say you're overweight, I'm like, what's the gauge for that? For you to say that?
Right. I guess. I mean, to be fair, even at my skinniest, I don't think I ever hit the weight that you're technically supposed to.
I never understood
which
that.
Is not bad because even at my lightest, I'm like, yeah, if I went too much further, I mean, that would look bad for me. But, so it's like, technically, yes, I'm kind of overweight, but I'm not like crazy. And I remember even talking to someone recently about this, how it's like, I can't remember. Maybe we were talking about clothes or something. And I even said, I'm like, I'm not overweight. Like, I said, I'm not fat by any standards. Like, I'm just, me. And I'm just rounded out. I don't know. But, where was I going with this?
I have no idea.
Oh, gosh. I was going with the whole, so obviously you don't want to go all the other way, but I'd rather be healthy than skinny. Like, because I think that was the thing is, and being skinny isn't necessarily bad as long as you still are like a good weight for you and like eating and all that. But I say that because it's like, I think when especially girls are growing up, that's kind of the goal is to be skinny. That's the word. Skinny and thin. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean healthy. That doesn't mean happy. That doesn't mean like any of those things. So I found that I'm trying to be more accepting of myself right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying, and that comes with getting nice clothes for myself right now because I deserve it right now and I deserve to feel happy and confident right now as I am. Like, and that kind of thing. And I'm trying to, practice what I preach to other people. Because it's like, I can tell people all the time that they're attractive and that they're beautiful and they're amazing and all this stuff. It's one of those where like, you're your worst critic.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So anyways, I'm trying to be healthy and happy in the end. Not necessarily like the lightest I could be.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's pretty much how I'm trying to go about it. Yeah, it's just, I feel like at a certain point, it's like you stop caring about that stuff because now you're like, you're an adult. It doesn't really matter. Like, you're just going about your life. I'm hoping for, like, my goal for myself is, like, whenever the time comes where we have kids, like, and, they're moving around and all that stuff, I just want to be able to, like, keep up with them. So, like, currently, I do a lot of, like, weight training and stuff like that. And, like, when it comes time for kids, I feel like my focus may switch. Or maybe not even. Maybe just, add something else to my workout regimen for that part. But, like, adding more cardio and try to, like, push myself for the track.
Yeah, run
possible.
after them.
Because I'm, like, I want to, like, keep up and maintain a healthy, like, lifestyle. Especially, throughout those important years when your kid is, like, trying to move and you're trying to, chase after them.
Catch me.
So that's, like, one of my, like, goals that I have for, like, the long term. Yeah. But yeah, just stay healthy. And
that was something that my naturopath had told me, which was interesting. Is she's like, if you have a healthy lifestyle, yeah, you're always going to age, and things can always happen, but you're not necessarily going to be like dying when you're like 50 or 60 either. Yeah. Like, people have this preconceived notion that once you hit a certain age, it's all downhill from there, and like, sure. Things still wear out, your elbows, your knees, like joints, like whatever. Things are still going to crack a little more or whatever, but you're not necessarily going to like be like so much more incapacitated. You know, because she said, like, that was one of the things she had said. Like, by the time she has grandchildren, because right now she has a 4-year-old and 1.5-year-old, I think, somewhere around there. She's like, by the time she has grandchildren, like, she can still envision herself, like, running after those children, too. Like, and doing that. And that it's not as impossible as we've been ingrained with.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't think that. I just, yeah, you just want to. It's just, I like the word, or not the word, but the phrase of like, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I lived like,
I heard that recently somewhere.
I lived that to a T. I'm always, you know me, like I'm always prepared. I always have my clothes ready. I always have like, I make sure I'm organized and ready because I don't like stressful situations.
And he gets very frustrated if you get in the way of his organizing.
Exactly. So like I stay prepared. So like that's just my mindset of like staying prepared when it comes to kids as far as that world goes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But from what I hear too, you can't always be prepared when it comes to kids.
I mean, obviously, yes, but
because then they'll be like, surprise.
But obviously,
I'm gonna throw up out of nowhere.
But for the most part, it's like even though you can't prepare for it, you are prepared for it because you know anything can happen. So like that's why like I'm not if something was to happen with a kid, like, dog, it is what it is. Like, that's the next phrase to tag on to it because I'm preparing to be prepared for anything. Like, I'm not nothing specific. Just, if something happens, I'm on it. That's it.
All right. Man, we went for a tangent. Yeah. Hope that was helpful for someone.
Yeah. So I want to talk about this coronavirus. It's back out there. Back out on the news. I know we talked about it, like, probably a few episodes back. I mean,
it's COVID-19.
I don't really care.
Now.
I'm just going to talk corona. I mean, it's been like that since it came out.
What?
Yeah, that's the name they've given it since it came out.
I thought it changed like 2 weeks ago.
I've seen the same thing, so I don't know where you saw it changed. But since like
my bad.
Since late January they had that same name for it. Isn't it just like another strain of whatever this
I don't know. Anyways.
But yeah, so I want to talk about it. It's back out on the news. It's back out on the news because a bunch of other countries are getting hit with it, and now everyone's like, it's not a matter of time of like if it will come to the U.S. It's more of when. And as of recording this episode, one person has been confirmed killed in Washington overnight. She died.
Dead. Like she killed
dead. You know, like, you get what I mean. She died, of the coronavirus, and I guess there was that one in Washington, there's one in Oregon, and there's one in California. As far as like they weren't traveling, they're not sure if they came into anyone in contact that was like outside. It just
magically appeared.
Dog, go ahead with your conspiracy. Didn't you hit us with a conspiracy last episode? Go ahead.
I'm just saying they could be planting it.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I got a couple enemies they can plant it on.
Yo, listen. Wait, what? Same. Anyways, I was talking to a bridesmaid today because I was doing a wedding. Oh, I loved her. She was on my wavelength. Like, we totally understood. Because I got into this whole talk about, because she works in she teaches and she works with children. She was saying how a lot of them are out sick now. And we got into this whole tangent of, my life story of how I was always sick and what I do now and blah, blah, blah. And we agree how it's profitable to be sick and all this different stuff. And she totally is agreeing with me about conspiracies and all that. I told her, I'm like, you need to go talk to my husband then.
I'm not saying, but I don't like when people
she's like, they make so much sense.
Yeah, but see, here's my issue with conspiracies. I don't like when people just want to guess things. Like, I'll be like, yo, it's a conspiracy that the sky is blue because of the water.
Here's the thing. It's not that it's not about just guessing something. It's about innately feeling like something is wrong, like something is off here. Like, I'm not just going to blindly trust what's happening.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make sense to.
So, sure, but I would like some proof to back it up. I don't work off
dude, but I'm not. Oh my gosh. That's like someone saying they need proof of Jesus because they can't see him.
But
then
back
that's
up
a
some
you.
real-
But then that's a you thing.
Back up
That's
some
your
real
religious
reasoning.
journey.
Back up some real reasoning. That's not actually. You just go with like.
But what I'm saying is, obviously, there's no physical proof to a conspiracy.
Yeah, but you can make if you can make a logical case as to why you feel the way you feel, sure. But a lot of the times when you bring up your topics, dog, I don't hear
all right,
that.
I just said a logical reason.
What's
I don't
logical
like
reason?
I don't like to blindly follow something that doesn't make sense and feels wrong and feels like something is happening here.
How do you know?
Because to think,
You're just going to the
No,
assumption that it's
listen.
been planted.
to think, like, for someone to really truly think that all these people have our best interest at heart all the time, like, really?
Never said that.
Because think about that. That's not profitable.
Dog, it's a cold world even when it's hot
Exactly.
outside.
Exactly.
That's from 50.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And
Thank you,
there
50.
is such a thing as population control. I've said it before. Okay?
Yeah,
like,
maybe China's just trying to wipe out all the men because
we're
they
at
messed
like
up.
what, almost 8 billion people on this planet?
Yeah, you're just gonna
It's-
skip right over that.
What did you just say?
I said China's just gonna wipe out all the men because they messed up a long time ago.
What do you mean?
Because wasn't China the country that they only had you had a firstborn, and if it was a girl,
I don't know if that was true. Was that true?
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying. They're
Yeah.
like, yo, we gotta get rid of some of these guys.
Any who's it's.
I think China's a big population, so I mean, hey,
Well, yeah, that's why it's weird. Why would it hit in the world's biggest population area?
Why not Mexico?
First? Because it's because we're
Corona. Okay, let me stop.
that sounded racist, but okay.
So, I hate you. Yo, I'm just trying to make jokes.
Racist jokes.
Well,
It was him, not me.
it's acceptable. I am them. I am a minority.
Whatever, dude.
not my
Anyway, where are we going with this? Why did we?
Oh,
bring up the
I want to just talk
corona?
about it. I'm not big on the politics side, or I really don't want to talk about it. But recently, Trump said it was a hoax, and then comes out and does a press release today, being Saturday, saying like, "Yo, there's a confirmed case," and not confirmed case. There's a confirmed death.
Which I find it funny that he'd say it's a hoax, because like the government would be in on it.
Now I'm not sure on this. 'cause I
So
didn't
is he
see-
trying to
Can you-
confuse us?
Can I see your
what-
phone?
Okay.
I want to pull up something real quick. Go ahead, you can continue talking. I'm just trying to see something.
But yeah, so I find it really funny that like he of all people would call it a hoax. That's all.
Get out of here, YouTube. Yeah.
Unless it's a mechanism to make it seem like they're not in on it. Ho ho.
Because I want to see something. I'm not sure how true it was. It was last night. How loud is your volume? Okay, it's not that loud. Cool.
I mean,
Because someone was telling me that like they had a lot of signs and it didn't look like they had a lot of people at this thing.
Should have looked this up earlier.
I didn't think I was gonna bring it up on the podcast.
Ding, ding.
It's hard to tell because they don't show a lot of. All right, babe, can you stop?
No,
Okay,
it's
it's not-
Jeopardy
That doesn't
because
do anything. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of people, but it's hard to tell from that.
okay, what does that have
shot.
to do with anything?
Because I'm like, you're sitting there telling people it's a hoax, but do people really want to go to rallies at this current time? Being around a bunch of other
Ho
people.
ho. That's true.
That's what I thought when Bernie was like, yo, he's coming to Massachusetts. And I'm like, that's cool, but I don't like crowds. And secondly, I don't like crowds. And yeah.
No, I thought about that today. My bride was saying how on Monday, her and her husband are going to be going to Mexico for their honeymoon. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to travel right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to travel on planes and like out of the country and like all this stuff right now.
One of my friends.
But a lot of people are still doing it. Like I have my manicurist.
I mean, you can't cancel it. You had it booked, however many months ago. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Pause it? Like you really? A lot of these things are like
well,
non-refundable.
if you have travel insurance, though, stuff like that
Dog.
might be covered.
Dog, how many people have travel insurance?
I don't know. We always do.
We are
It's not-
responsible.
Right? It's not that much more. But my manicurist is on a cruise right now too. Like it's like everybody's
Well, and one of my friends are going on a cruise, and I was like, "Watch out!" And I didn't say watch out for the coronavirus. I meant watch out, and as far as like, you may not be able to enjoy that. Like, you may be locked down.
Right. I know what I was telling you. I'd be more worried about the fact that if you do get locked down, what does that do to things like your work when you were supposed to come back and now you have another week off or something? What does it do to things like we left Missy with a pet sitter and we'd have to hopefully schedule more time with that pet sitter, but they probably wouldn't have time because it's so close. Like, there's all that is what I would worry about over even being locked down. I'd be like, all the other stuff in our life that we were supposed to resume to.
And I can't like think about this enough and like, thank God and all that stuff that we got back at the time that we did, because we missed like so much. If we would have planned it like a week or 2 or weeks like for that vacation, it would have been a doozy if the same thing would have happened to you, or just in general, because that's when they were really starting to like crack down on airports. And
well, yeah, that's the problem is I had a super high fever because I had a bad flu, and all they were doing was taking people's temperatures, and if you had a fever, they were taking you. That's terrifying because I legitimately did not have it. But if we came home even like I think it was a week later, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, we really got lucky.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say with this, so you're probably wondering, why do I have this like weird looking bear chart on my iPad? Dog. So I think it's the CDC or whatever, but they came out with like a list of like all the all of the respiratory sealing surfaces that you need to have. So essentially,
respirator,
yeah. For you to have an acceptable face, you have to like make sure you're super trimmed down. Like, yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty much you can have like a small little mustache or nothing at all. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna follow this. Let's be real now.
Wait, what do you need this for?
I think it's for
respirator. What do you need that for?
I'm trying to think. Is this when it goes over their mouth? I don't know the details for it. I just thought it was an interesting face chart of. What?
What is that like for?
I think that's for when they put the mask over your face. I could be totally wrong on it.
For what though? So what? They're saying this happens with the coronavirus?
What happens? What? They're saying that's what they need your face to look like.
Because of the coronavirus?
Yeah. For it to like suction on. Like for your face.
So people are like not breathing?
Dog, you asking a lot of questions I don't know the answers to.
Because I'm like, it's just random to me.
Yeah, I found it on Twitter and I just took it. I've got the context of it. But I know it had to do with the coronavirus.
Oh, Mr. Don't just believe what you see on Twitter.
I'm going to flick you.
You should verify it.
I'm going to flick you.
Ouch.
On to another corona-related topic. Let's talk about the bear.
The what?
The bear.
Oh, God. No, I heard about that.
Their sales are hurting.
Hold on. I saw a tweet about this.
Yo, their sales, like, people are really bugging out when it comes to, I want to have Chinese food.
Congrats.
Some people aren't ordering Chinese food.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that. No, oh God, where was it?
Oh my God.
Oh, no, the guy I follow, one of the main guys I follow for conspiracies, he said, new study states that 38% of Americans won't buy Corona beer in fear of catching the virus. This is why I always say people are idiots. 38%!
They're like, damn, we picked a bad name 100-something years ago.
Right.
Like, yeah, so like they're like, I'm not sure if Corona's like a publicly traded company or if they like have a parent company.
Pull out.
There's not a lot of times that you should pull out of a situation, but yeah,
this is one of them.
That is one of them. But I'm like, damn, that sucks. But
that's dumb. Come on, it has been around how long? It's a brand.
Dog, here's another
That's
thing.
like someone being afraid of Puff's tissue because it's like, I don't know, puffing a drug or something.
Here's another
like,
thing.
come on.
On to the topic of like Chinese food and all that stuff. So we're like, I know you follow it on a local like Facebook forum. Someone like posted I'm not sure if you saw this.
I don't know.
They posted they were at the mall. They hit, your local Asian spot where I don't know what it's called, like Asian Fusion, Panda Express, whatever it could be. They hit this place, got orange chicken, and it's gonna gross you out because it's grossing me out thinking about it. But I saw the picture and you did not. But it had what looked to be a spider in the orange chicken. Like they took a picture of it and I zoomed in on it, and I'm like, that looks like a spider in the.
Yeah, but you always hear about this stuff with Chinese places, too. You always hear about, they fried a rat, or, like, all that stuff, or KFC fried a rat, or, like, things like that.
But I'm like, how does that happen?
I mean, to be fair, you can keep a place clean, but usually bugs and stuff are still going to be around every now and then.
Yeah, that's true.
And
but
then,
it's like, that's just so, yo.
Because I'm sure some of our favorite restaurants, all I ever hear is they're like, you don't want to know what happens in the kitchen of the places you enjoy.
Okay, don't tell me
like
this.
That's all I ever hear is that you don't understand, like, yeah, there's certain standards, but there's also like real life. So like
there's been countless times I found hair in my food.
Same. And I'm the type of person, I've so many times lately, I'll just take it out and keep eating it.
If it's not too deep into it, I'm like, sure.
Like, and I don't even say anything because I'm not one of the, like, I'm not trying to like cause drama and be that person and be over dramatic and be like, oh, there's a tiny hair in here. I'm going to die if I eat this.
Normally that hair ain't tiny.
Although now, I know, right? Although now, maybe people are even more dramatic because they're like, I will die from this because you probably have the corona on it.
Yeah, because you could totally die by eating a hair strand.
People won't drink the beer, okay?
Yeah, true.
So listen, it's not the farthest fetch ever.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. I really feel like they're hyping up the coronavirus. What I'm betting is though, I feel like schools are gonna close at least for a good 2 weeks. Like. Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, they should. Whether you're getting the coronavirus or not, there's all stuff running rampant. That's exactly what she was saying today. She's like, oh, so I work with kids. She's like, as bad as this sounds, it's kind of like having a break right now because so many kids are out sick.
Well, I feel like like I've said, everyone's getting sick.
Everything for the past like 2 solid months, everybody's been sick, and it's like I had 2 like sicknesses that took me out, and then I gave one to you, and like that's just how it happens. And that's the thing too is, I was talking to where I go get Missy's food. I was talking to the owner there, and she has 4 kids, and I forget why we were talking about this, but because she was out sick one day. She said as soon as one of her kids, she's like, if they come out of bed that morning and they say, Mom, I don't feel good, it's right back to bed. Like, she's not chancing it because she's like, listen, I have 4 kids. Do you know what the chances of that not going through our household is? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not playing. So,
stay in your room for days.
Yeah.
I'll bring you the food.
So
put it next to the door. You can come out when I walk away.
Right? It's like being in a dungeon.
It's jail cell, not a dungeon.
No, but it's also like being in a dungeon. Like, here, I'll leave it on the floor and you can have a candle.
I don't blame her because I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that when kids come.
You're telling me.
Like, stay a good distance away from me, yo. Don't hug me. Don't kiss me. Don't shake my hand.
You're
don't
telling
say,
me.
Hi, Daddy. No, we're not doing that. We're not friends right now. Get better. And then you could come and be like, hi, Dad. After that, yeah, we're good.
I'm going to struggle because I'm going to be that mom that wants to snuggle them and make them feel better. But I'm also me. And I catch a lot.
Isn't that sweet?
So that's going to be a struggle.
Do you want to be sick?
They're children.
Who cares?
I swear to God.
All right.
That better change.
Well, on to other unrelated to coronavirus news. Dog. So the video came out of I know we talked about this either last week or the following podcast before, about the girl that got arrested by police. She was 6 years old. She didn't get to see mom didn't get to see her for 2 days. So the video came out. Not sure if you want to see the video. If not, it's cool. But essentially, what?
I'm good. I'm pretty sure that's what you saw a few seconds of before, right?
Yeah, a trimmed down version of it.
Yeah, so I get the gist.
But yeah, so the video came out of this cop going to this daycare, I assume, because she's only 6. or whatever, baby school. And like you see like a teacher or principal, I'm not sure what is she, but she's sitting where you are, and then imagine like this is like her desk she's sitting at. The kid's right here, the police officer's right here, and like the lady doesn't stop the guy when he like realizes, when she sees that he has like zip ties, like doesn't say anything. The kid's like, you're not gonna put that on. Like the cop pulls out the zip ties, and the kid's like sitting there pleading like, you're not gonna handcuff me, and the cop is like no, we gotta do this. And he's trying to scoot her along. Like he's not being aggressive with her, but he's just trying to like shoot along.
Right.
And I'm just like, you don't think like you get called into something, and your first thing is to like arrest a 6-year-old,
right?
And it turns out, obviously, this should be obvious, that like if you arrest someone that's 12 years or under, you have to talk to the lieutenant that's on the shift to see if it's like acceptable to do that given whatever situation. And like this guy didn't do it, so of course he was let go. I think it could be unpaid. No, like not like let go.
No, he was fired.
Was he?
I thought in that video we just watched, it said he'd been fired.
Okay.
Because I'm just saying, when cops do something dirty, when cops do something bad and they get let go, especially with pay, like, and they're temporarily laid off or something and they get paid, bull crap. Mm-hmm. That's crap.
But
why? That's like a reward. Now you don't have to do the work and you just get paid.
My issue is, and here's the other part to add to it. He was after he like put the little girl in the cop car, he went back into the building, and I guess because it's on the video, he told like the lady like it's like the youngest he's gotten, because the other one was like a 7-year-old, and he's like sitting there bragging. I'm like, dog, there's something
oh my gosh.
So now this girl has like trauma, because now her mom brings her back to school, and they see a police officer. She doesn't want to go. Like she feels like she's gonna be taken away again. Mm-hmm. And it's like this is how it starts. And I realized this, and I dissected this in my head, and I understand my trauma, understanding hers. Mm-hmm. Yo, so okay, I'm gonna give you a story here. So at Target, they have like I don't know what you could want to call it, like a security guard essentially.
Yeah.
And they wear like a police looking outfit. Mm-hmm. You would think it's a police officer if you saw him, but it's not, just a Target security. And like for the longest, I really didn't rock with the guy. I didn't really want to talk to him. I didn't want to be like, if we talked, like I'd be cordial. We'd talk and all that stuff. But like I kind of kept my distance because of the outfit he was wearing, and like what that means in my eyes, given like everything I've been told and like have gone through as a kid, and like all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, I didn't get it until I understood that. I'm like, yeah, like my past trauma has me not like, whenever it comes to like police officers, I can't just sit there and be like cool and comfortable talking to like a cop, like how like some of my other friends may be. Like I would just be like quiet, like just afraid of talking.
That's gonna be interesting when we have kids.
What does that mean?
Because it's like you have to teach the kids both sides. Like, yeah, you have to like warn them of stuff, but you also want them to believe to some extent that they are helpful and they are good, that there are good ones out there.
That's cool and all, but even to the point where like the few times we had to, I won't even say few times, but the times we had to call the police on our neighbors, there's a bit of fear on what if this turns bad on me.
Right.
Like I'm going outside to talk to this cop and hopefully he takes me seriously. And yeah, like that's my next fear of like when we move to like another place and it's probably going to be a place that's predominantly white. Mm-hmm. That's my next fear, is like ever being like, I don't even want it, like ever having to call the police in like an area that's majority white, and like for whatever reason that may be, if like our neighbor next door is super loud late at night or something, and the kids have to have to go to school.
I ain't moving to that again.
But like I don't know, like that's, so I get it. I understand this little girl's like now trauma that she was given because this officer wanted to add another notch on his belt of the youngest girl for him to arrest. It's super disgusting. So I get it. I'm understanding it. So now this girl's gonna grow up. She's gonna one day possibly be pulled over for a speeding ticket or something, and like probably have a panic attack or something or some type of issue. And it's like it all stems back because of like this one incident of like, even though you don't remember it because you're probably too young to remember.
No,
it's like it's
6. Not at 6. I still vividly remember stuff from as early as 4.
It depends. I'll say it depends on the person because it depends on how it hits you.
But typically, that's around the age it starts.
It depends on the person.
Some people I've talked to remember 3, and I'm like, I don't remember 3 at all. But what was I gonna say? No. Listen, I worked at a low-income daycare, and there is such a thing as bad children. So I understand that side as well. However, most of the time, these bad children are in bad circumstances and need help because, there's one 6-year-old, since that's the age we're going with. She vividly, like, is in my brain forever and, like, nasty in so many different ways. But home life, terrible. Like, yeah, you have these kids that are bopped around from home to home or are like sexually abused at home or, you know, all this different stuff, all these scenarios. You know, mom has 3 jobs, never sees the mom, doesn't have dinner. Like, there's all these different scenarios. It's frustrating when you're limited to what you can do and none of your tactics work on these children. So I get that perspective. But we never had to call a cop on them, and they were bad. They were very bad sometimes, like very much so, like physically anything, spitting, whatever it is. Like, but that's not how you handle it.
You wouldn't call a police officer. You would at the very least call their parents. Yes. Be like, yo, you got to get your kid.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Parents are called. It's like, a discussion. The director is involved. Like, things like that. But cops are not. This is still a child who doesn't need to get arrested. Because here, let me word it like this. There were times I was hit and kicked. Am I really going to file charges against a 6-year-old and say, oh, they physically abused me, therefore you should arrest them? Similar to what I would do with an adult? No. Because it's still a child. Like, sure, it can hurt, and sure, it can hurt emotionally, and you think about it, whatever, but it's... No, like, put it in perspective. Those kids usually need more help than we even understand. That's really what it is. So it's really frustrating when then let's add more trauma to that. Let's completely scar a whole entire career for them so that any other police officer is now a problem for the rest of their life. Or at least a fear.
Oh, it's a fear.
Like,
it is a fear indeed.
That's unnecessary. And freaking zip tying the kid? That's so unnecessary. What did you think the kid was going to do to you? Choke you out? Was it a guy? It was a guy, right? I mean, you a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man. Like, really? You think this little girl is going to, like, do something that bad to you? And chances are you could add backup in 2 seconds anyway. So it's like, really?
I mean, you wouldn't need backup.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you were really in harm's way, like, you really had to zip tie a child, that part bothers me. Because that in itself, now, in addition to being scared of cops, she could have trauma when it comes to her hands, her wrists, and things like that.
I mean,
and not trust people who are going to do that.
I mean, just in general, seeing a cop.
Like, not trust someone who's going to, like, grab her wrist. Like, there's so many layers to this, and it disgusts me. So, That's my 2 cents on it. I don't think it's... Yes, children are very hard to deal with sometimes. Extremely. Like, there are some that are just... You don't know how to get through to them at all. You don't know what to do. But just find someone who does. Find someone who can help them. That's it.
Yeah. And to answer your question when it comes to kids, like, yeah, sure, you could teach them that and stuff. But if we're still in the world we live in, and if they've had an experience like this little girl has had, or, you know...
Oh, they better not have an experience like this little girl had.
Anything's possible.
You don't want to see me then.
Because it's like, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The mom's suing, right?
Well, that's how this video came out.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be dumb as hell. How do you think you're gonna keep your job? How do you think you're not gonna be filmed? Like, obviously, you have your cam on your thing anyway, so it's like...
Why is it not questioned that you're, like, taking a 6-year-old?
Well, yeah, that's
like,
kind of weird.
I don't really understand. Like,
Unless
someone calls in, I'm sure, school calls in, cool. But, like, you don't sit there and ask, like, she's 6. What else to do with that? Like, she didn't do anything wrong. What crime is she doing that I have to, like, take my time and... Like, there's so many other things I could be doing than arresting a 6-year-old. Like, call her parents.
Yep.
Like, I would have shamed this guy would have, instead of this guy, like, losing his job or whatever, he would have gotten praise if he would have flipped it and been like, yo, you guys got to call the parents. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Like, it makes no sense. And for him to brag about it is like... That's
disgusting.
You shouldn't be a police officer. Like, you take, like, some excitement out of...
Like, next up it'll be a 4-year-old. Like, what?
Disgusting.
Ew.
Yeah. But I just want to talk about it, and I hope that our future kids are never in that issue, because, just like I'm sure you would.
I swear to God.
You would probably let off. I'd be probably the one holding you back, even though I'd be just upset.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, Mama Bear coming out.
Yeah. But I just had to talk about that, because it's so upsetting. Like, it makes no sense. Like, how can you be called an adult when you can't handle that symbol of a situation properly?
And the whole fact of that they didn't alert the mom or anything too. That should be the first huge problem. That's a huge problem. This is a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Alone with an adult male cop. I'm sorry, that could have gone even more sideways. Like, that's a real problem. Like, that's not okay. Like, it's similar to when we were watching When They See Us and they're interrogating them without their parents there. Mm-hmm. That's a real problem. You can manipulate the situation. Like, there's so many things that can happen. It's disgusting. Mm-hmm. So, no, that's never okay.
Yeah. Well, to wrap this bad boy up, because we hit on a lot of topics. So we're gonna end this with some relationship advice here, and this one is gonna be a close topic for you because it's gonna be interesting to talk about given your situation.
Oh boy.
So this one is, my girlfriend wants half of my company.
Uh-oh.
So he
girlfriend.
He goes on to say goddamn. Hi, me and my girlfriend, we started a company in photography and video.
Interesting.
What did I say? Oh, yeah.
You said we, but I thought it was her company. Or his.
Yeah. At the beginning, we talked about a 60-40 split, as I was the person bringing the contracts and had the most experience, being 5 years doing it for, and she was okay with it. Yesterday, she came and told me that she wanted half of it because she worked 20 hours more than me. Really, we haven't worked a lot on the company. We are just starting, and it pisses me off that she doesn't value all the years it took me to know to know everything I know. She doesn't know how to use my equipment. I always have to be the one to set it up. What she has worked on is the Instagram page and our website, spending a lot of time on it as she's learning. All of that. God damn, this guy types horribly. And all the experience he has, she thinks it's unfair as I have worked less hours than her. He puts in parentheses 20 hours, so I guess she has 20 hours more than him, essentially, on whatever they're calculating this on. But she has no experience in teaching her almost anything. I'm teaching her almost everything.
I don't understand the 20-hour bit. I'm like, you guys are continuously going to put in hours. Do you not understand how a business works? Like, I don't understand why she's holding that over his head like he's not going to continue working. Is she looking at, like, 1 week?
Yeah, I want more context as far as, like, how long they've been together and all that stuff.
Like, honey, I hate to break it to you, but in a business, first of all, you're going to be working crazy hours. And second of all, 1 week, you may work more than the next. Like, it's not going to be consistent.
I feel like what happens with this is he's the leader of it. Because she's doing the simple stuff, like the Instagram posts and the website. But he's bringing in the contracts, like making sure people sign, like handling like the business part.
Okay, so I beg to differ though. Like that stuff isn't simple, I will say. That's
great. And then on top of like setting their equipment up, I'm not sure how they're doing like the video and photography and like how that happens, but it sounds like he's bringing these contracts in, bringing these people in, making sure they sign, getting that situated. And then here we are, ready to do the job. I'm setting up their equipment. And yeah, like I'm doing a lot of the work and I'm just giving you the stuff for you to go. So it's like it should continue to be a 60-40 split because I'm doing a lot more of the work and you're just handling the social media part of it when there's a lot more that goes into the business as a whole.
I get it.
Because like, let's say for example, I'm like, you want to bring me on part of your company. Cool. No problem. But I'm like, I want 50-50 because you want me to drive you to all these events. You want me to be a part of like your, whatever these things are, like vendor events, whatever they're called. And I'm like, okay, I want 50% because I'm going to be spending a lot of my time doing this. And you want me to also help with posting and getting you active on social media. So I want 50% of your company. But you're the one bringing in the contracts.
Okay, so hold on. Let me get something clear though, because I think I'm gonna get confused because you're talking about coming on.
Okay.
Is this a partnership?
It does
instead of being like, for example, when I bring on people to my team and I pay them a percentage as like on weddings and stuff.
It's
because that's different.
I don't know how you would consider a partnership when it's 60-40. Like, I feel like a partnership is 50-50. We bring someone to...
Right, but I don't know. It almost sounds like a partnership or... Yeah, like a partner corporation. Like, it sounds like they're...
It does not sound like a partner... Okay.
It sounds like there's two people that are going to be co-owners. Correct? That's what I'm getting here. So that's different than my situation where I pay people percentages based on the work they do for me at weddings.
At the start of this, what I'm gonna say is this guy shouldn't do it. I'm just gonna start from the jump. You shouldn't do it.
I mean, I will say this
because he's doing a lot of the work. He has 5 years of experience.
The get-go, before they even did any of the work, they should have signed a contract. Like an actual go to a small business attorney and like get this stuff in writing, because partnerships and things like this, you need to have that because this is where stuff starts to get gray. Like, honestly, I've had stuff in writing with people that people would probably make fun of me for or question me and be like, really? Like, why did you do that? You have to protect yourself at the end of the day. This is business. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm not trying to be like whatever. But if we're doing business together, then we're doing business together. Then I'm seeing you just like I'm seeing, this person I networked with last week. It's the same thing. So like, that is so important. So that's the first mistake is this was not put in writing and made clear. Like what it could have been maybe... Say like they could have put the first year, it'll be 60-40 and we will revisit percentages at the top of the calendar year next year or something. Like you could have simply just done that. So now that you didn't, yeah, you have a problem. It's one of those where it's kind of sticky. I don't know what to tell you because sure, I can tell you based on your experience, based on what you're trying to tell me. But at the same time, because you have no leverage here, like you have nothing to hold, like there's nothing stopping her from being unhappy with that and saying, all right, well, I'm out. Like,
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you brought in someone that doesn't have any experience, and you like at first you think it's a great idea because you're like, oh man, we're together, we got this, and all that stuff. But then it's like,
let me tell you,
no, it's not. It's not really a smart
that's
thing.
especially where you need something in writing, because again, it can get real sticky. Because then you're gonna be messing your personal arguments with your business and stuff, and it's gonna it's gonna mix.
We're gonna have issues.
And right, because like say we got in an argument last night, but you and I have like this big presentation to a company today at like 10 a.m. Well, I can't just be like, oh, well, like, remember though, like last night what you said to me, and you really think I'm going to still go to this presentation? No, that can't happen. It would be like, put on your bootstraps and we're going to present like we're a team here. Like, they're totally separate.
Oh, so this is probably the best time to bring this up since I'm helping you out with some business related things. What's my payment?
We're going to talk off air. This is not the best time
That
to bring
sounds
that up,
like it's
actually.
a no. It's a no for me, dog. But I think it's stupid because, yeah, I get he has experience and all that stuff. I think it comes down to, like, because we've done this before, like, in the early stages, we created the podcast and stuff. And I'm sure if it would have popped off, like, we may have gone through this issue. Like, I'm sure a lot of couples probably go through. And it's like, yeah. You sit there and go, like, yeah, we should do this business idea because we're, like, we feel like we're aligned. But I'm like, you're not really as aligned as you think you are. And that's where this issue comes. So anyone that's listening, that's looking to start a business with their significant other, make sure you have it in writing. Make sure everything's clear. One thing I thought that was cool that was on Judge Judy, I think it was, that you saw and I saw, where this guy didn't have like the contract on him, but he had the recording of him signing the contract, like reading the whole contract out, and of like a car he's giving to a friend, and how she's gonna make like monthly payments on it. So he recorded, him reading the contract, signing it, and then flipped the camera over and showed her, everything, and her signing it. And Judge Judy was like, "He's smart." Like,
I would also like to point out, as a judge, she even accepted that, even though it wasn't a legally binding contract. All it was they wrote something out on a piece of paper and they both signed it. And in some cases that does work. So yeah, like it really depends on your business and what you need the contract for. But I mean, for something like that,
yeah, it wasn't like a business thing. It was just like, I'm giving a card to someone. I just need you to pay.
That was enough.
Pay me to pay it
you
off.
can write it on a napkin as long as those signatures are there.
I like that he read it, because if he was just like, I'm signing a contract for this and that, it probably wouldn't have been as like substantial. But yeah, anyone you're getting in business with, because I know we do this with like close friends and significant others.
Telling you, especially if you're gonna be selling something for profit.
Yeah, make sure it's clear.
You better have in writing who gets what for like royalties and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been there.
Gonna be there with me right after this podcast.
What are we selling?
You selling my creation. Well, more so my time. But yeah. That's all I got. I just want to talk about that because I thought that was interesting. Wish I got all the best, but in his experience, you having 5 years and bringing in the contracts, I would probably find someone that is in that same like video photography realm and see if they would like to like partner up in a way and create an agreement where you can both work.
Or if you don't want to deal with someone else being a co-owner of the company, if it's just stuff like social media and all that, look into hiring an intern. Like, there's so many 20-year-olds these days. Like, they go to college, they need a credit, whatever it is, and that's exactly the stuff they can excel at. So, like, because I knew a wedding planner who did that. For a semester, she had a college student, and she, like, totally, like, revamped her Pinterest and Instagram and all this different stuff. And so she didn't have to worry about it, but she didn't have to pay her either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's different ways around things, too. Like, you can be creative. You don't have to have a co-owner. If you think you can own the company and, like, do what that takes and then hire out.
Yeah. I'm with it.
That might be easier. Because, yeah, I honestly, I couldn't imagine doing a co-owner kind of thing. That's too complicated.
You got a corner right here. Thank you.
Yeah, none of my paperwork says that.
That must be a problem. We have to get that amended. Thank you for telling me and bringing it to my attention. Thank you. You gotta get that fixed. Okay. That's fine. But yeah, that's all I got. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. I'm good.
A lot of hard-hitting topics. Guys.
Stay healthy.
Yeah. Once again, I just gotta say, thank you for supporting us for a whole year. If you've been rocking with us for that long, if you've been with us for these last few days, and you're like catching up on podcast episodes from the past, thank you for your support. Thank you for checking us out. We appreciate it 110%. Man, you know what it is. If you are listening to us on iTunes, please take a quick moment, real quick, please, and give us a rate and review on iTunes. It is definitely appreciated. We have another year and more to give you.
5 stars.
Yeah, with that being said, if you have a topic for us to hit on, if you want to send us an email through PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com or a voice message through Anchor.fm, links are all in the description of this podcast episode, so feel free to hit us up.
Or if you want us to do something special for our 100th episode.
Yeah. Hit us up through everything, social media down below, website, everything in the episode details.
We should get a cake.
I think you just want a cake just to eat the cake. What are we going to do? Just have the cake right on the camera? Like, haha, guys.
Yeah, we could blow out a candle.
Dog, I'll take it. I'll
we could get 100 candle.
Is it going to be a gluten-free? And
well, duh. It needs to be something I could eat.
Yo, I'm down for this. Just simply for the fact that I just want cake.
Then, okay, if we do that, you guys got to watch the YouTube video then to see it.
I just want the cake, dog. They don't have to watch the video. Just give me the cake.
Wow. Listen to how selfish he is, guys.
Dog, the next time I would have some type of cake would be in August. So, yeah, I want the cake.
That's true.
Exactly. So if I can get cake sooner, I'll take it. All right.
Same.
With that being said, guys, I'm Shadell. I just forgot my lines. I've been doing this for a year. You'd think I would know this by now. Oh, God. And you are dying of the coronavirus. Oh, my God. Guys, if you do not hear from us, it's probably because we're in quarantine because of someone.
No, it's because I was inhaling hairspray all day.
Okay. With that being said, coughing me, cough, cough, sir, cough a lot. I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my coughing wife,
Coughalophagus, Lauren.
and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.